Can you believe that? In other words, here
that
you
a medical
are reading,
professional can perform a medical procedure.
why should that medical professional have a say on whether or not that woman can abort?
Why
I thought
can't they
a
have a
woman
say?
should have a right to do what she wants with her body. Why are you reading something that says the medical professional can decide whether or not she can have an abortion? I thought it was her right to have an abortion if she wanted.
It is.
So why should a medical doctor have a say whether she can abort or not?
I'm not saying they should have a say. I'm saying they're the ones doing
that's
it.
what it says, but it actually, I know the words say that, but when you look at the underneath, that's just the first words. When you look at all the clarification for what they mean by that underneath, it actually says the mental health of a woman includes, I can't have this baby, I'm gonna have an abortion, and the doctor says okay. That's what the actual wording means.
Okay.
See, and that's the problem, is when it shows up on the news, they go, oh, look. Well, no. Read the rest of it, because that's what's going on. But see, in 1973, when abortion became legal, it wiped out all 50 states' laws on abortion. And the second case that came down the same day was called Doe versus Bolton. Doe versus Bolton said you can have it up to birth. So throughout the entire United States for like 15 years, abortion was allowed for any reason up to birth.
Okay.
Call the Southwest Women's Center.
Okay,
right
I'm
now.
talking about today, what's going on now.
Right now.
That is not, I just read it, and that is not
Read what?
true. The New York, where that's what you're claiming is the only place.
You're misreading it because of your bias. You're misreading
It is not up to birth. You can't just choose to do that.
Yes,
it's saying
you
if it's
can.
medically
It
necessary.
just said that. No, it did not say medically
It said
necessary.
medically
It did
necessary,
not say-
judged by a medical professional.
No, it said she could have she could have physical or mental reasons why. And when they define, she sits down with the doctor and says, my boyfriend and I broke up. You know what? I don't want this baby. I'm suicidal. I don't want this baby right now. I can't have this baby because my boyfriend broke.
So if they were suicidal, it's not okay?
No, anything. If she had anything. She says, I don't want this baby. Would he tell her no?
I don't know. I don't live in New York.
Well, you read the
It's
rest
also
of,
not my business.
read the rest of the law. He wouldn't
and
tell her
That
no.
is the law.
That's
That's
where I
not
have a
the law.
problem. You say
It has
it's
a
not
whole
my
bunch of stuff
business.
underneath
It's
it.
not.
Would you have gotten involved with slavery and somebody
Okay,
else was
I'm
always
not
like,
going to compare abortion to slavery.
Why not?
I'm not going to sit here and do, because they're two completely different
it's
things.
not your business? Say it is a human and it is inside her body. Is it your business then if you...
If it's someone else's body?
Say she's in a... Let's for you. Because I think we could get you to say at what week you would say it was legal. What you would decide. I mean, that's what we're talking about. When are you, and it's so arbitrary. Are you saying at 8 weeks? Are you saying at 30 weeks? Do you have, so for a woman that's 34 weeks, let's say, would you say it's okay?
All that I'm going to say about that is that whether or not I would have an abortion personally is not important to me.
Excuse me, I appreciate the dialogue.
Thanks.
I'm going to go over here. Thank you.
Whether or not I would have an abortion, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I got pregnant, if I would want to, or if I would want to keep it, whatever. But to have the option available to me, that would give me an option that could maybe alter my future greatly, maybe heavily impact my life based on what I chose, which it would, obviously, it would be having a child. I would like to have that option available to me, and I would like to have the option available to other women, and that's just what I believe. That's the bottom line.
And I'll just tell you, I had 6 abortions, honey. So for me, it was birth control, and I'm dealing with it now in my life at 63. I feel like, I don't know if you've ever had the experience of sometimes like you didn't see something, but now you see it. Like I had blinders. So for me, I feel like there was a lot of propaganda. That's how I viewed it, and I feel like that just came off. and Abby Johnson that did the movie Unplanned. It's an amazing story. If you're willing to look at our, just if you could just open yourself just a little bit to our side of it, because frankly, there's other things I'd rather do. My husband and I have this retreat thing that we got in Monterey. We're from Sacramento, but we're so passionate now because you're passionate, and that's why I want to reach you. And is all I want you to do. If you would just,
I already have one.
You do?
That, yeah.
Okay. And just know that there's a lot, what I've discovered, propaganda out there, and the news, it doesn't cover our side of the story so much, because we look like we're evil, and we get in people's faces and we're awful, and
I don't believe that you're evil or awful. I just believe that you have your opinions, and based on what you believe, and that I have my own opinions based on what I believe, and I'm just advocating for myself and for other women to have rights that
Would you go see Unplanned?
I might watch it.
Okay, and there's images. So, and it was images. Who went to the back of the bus? The black lady.
Rosa Parks.
Okay, so thank you. So she comes in. One of her friends. Do you know the story of what propelled her to stand up? Because one of her friend's sons was sent in a box, and the picture of that propelled her to stand up. And I hate these friggin' pictures, but it propelled her to stand up, to do what was right. And that's why we have pictures, and for me they're awful because it's the truth. And if you see Unplanned, just be willing to listen to Abby's story of working at Planned Parenthood for 8 years. She's not gaining anything from it, she's getting blasted. So if you're just willing to open up a little bit to it on the other side.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
And another one that wasn't a meth baby. All through foster care, we believe in a civil society. You never add that it's okay to kill. It's not a choice to kill innocent life. At least that's what our country's supposed to be.
And it's so easy to believe that it's tissue. I mean, that's the Kool-Aid I drank. And it was so easy to have an abortion. And it comes back later to get you when you realize, especially after you have your own babies, that this baby, when it was conceived, it's going to have hair color, eye color, propensity for disease.
When?
At conception, I think 8 days.
Actually, I can tell you as a molecular biology major that
8 days.
the central nervous system is not developed until 2 weeks, and a few weeks after that, the heart is not developed and doesn't start beating. So how can it possibly?
At 4 weeks.
No, 21 days.
21
Maybe.
days.
Yeah. But see,
And
with all that in mind,
the
though,
concept
with that in mind,
what is life is different to
he and
everybody.
well, we were trying to find the common ground, and the common ground is that we will acknowledge that it's a living human being, but you still think that a woman should be able to kill it, and that's what we disagree with. We disagree with the concept that you could. Well, it's
And
still a human
also,
being.
I don't believe that until it's fully formed.
Well, and I hear you. If you believe that, you have a right to believe what you want, but what you believe is factually incorrect. And so your decision about abortion is not based on...
It's factually incorrect.
Yeah, what makes it factually incorrect?
Because a fetus is a living human
According
being.
to you.
No, according to your biology 101 class.
No.
Where did you learn? You show me. I'll tell you what. I'll pay
class.
for you to go to
I'm just
dinner.
saying this is disturbing, and I don't appreciate it.
No, I appreciate that.
Can we at least
I appreciate
put
the
it somewhere
dialogue.
else though, away from?
No,
right in
guys.
front of
There's
the
a bunch
The
of
reason
kids
you're
touring
bothered
the
is not
campus.
because it's near
All right,
the
but at
food
least
store.
move it away from the
We're going to
food,
consider
though.
doing that.
I do
if not
have to
today,
say
tomorrow.
that any woman here could have had an abortion, and you showing these images here could be potentially triggering for any of them.
And I hear you.
That's
You know
also
what part of the problem is? There are a lot of women on every campus, including this one, who come up to us and thank us for showing the pictures, because had they seen the pictures, they wouldn't have had an abortion. So you're right.
So are
Hey,
you
thanks,
saying-
man, for stopping and talking with it.
So are you saying
I
that
agree.
a woman who was raped, or a woman who, I don't know,
Whatever reason. Yeah.
any reason, they shouldn't have an abortion? A woman who, if they went through the pregnancy, they will die. A woman who, I don't know, maybe that baby will not survive. They should carry that baby to term.
Yeah,
You're
I
saying they
don't-
shouldn't have an abortion.
Well, I'll be glad to respond. I don't believe in a civil society we should kill innocent babies. And I don't
but they
believe
aren't a baby.
well, they are.
No.
You have to deny that factual reality in order to believe that.
I used to believe after I had my abortions. I'm telling you, it made it easy. It made it easy.
Why are you
for
laughing?
me.
She just is sharing with you her
You
heart.
know how hard it was? It was easy for me to kill a lump of tissue. If I had believed the truth, and that's why I'm here, driving from Sacramento to here to try to reach people to show you there's another side of the story, that this is a human being. This is going to develop eye color, hair color, propensity for disease. It is in all respects and unique, like no other person on the planet. It is a unique individual.
When does a
that we're
fetus develop a
killing.
brain?
From the minute of conception.
No, that is not true
That's
at all.
not true. Oh my God, I'm
See-
not even gonna talk with you guys anymore.
You guys aren't.
That
you're
is not
paying
true.
attention in class.
I'm not paying. I
a-
just learned this
Well, let me ask
today.
you a
We
question.
talked about it today.
See, this immaturity right here is why she believes things that aren't true. That's immaturity.
I'm not gonna be rude. Like,
Right,
okay,
okay, I
I'm not gonna
appreciate
be
that.
rude, but I'm gonna tell you.
When does the brain start
fact
developing?
At 3 weeks,
No,
maybe.
no. You're not listening.
The
to
central nervous
you're
system
not
develops
listening.
first.
Ma'am, you're not listening. The minute the sperm and egg come together, everything about you starts developing.
Are you a biology major?
Not only am I a student who has graduated from a 4-year school, we have a biologist that's on our team with the state of California.
Okay.
Listen to what I'm saying. I just asked you to hear this.
Okay.
When do you start developing all the parts of your body?
Are you talking about as a fetus?
As a biological reality, do you start developing at conception or not?
As a lump of cells and embryos and a blastocyst, which is actually what it's
And
called.
what do you do? What do you,
After that,
what is the embryo and blastocyst? What are they doing?
a blastocyst is a bundle of cells.
But what are they doing?
They are dividing. That is true.
And I appreciate that. That's what I'm trying to get through that she failed to hear. You
Okay.
are developing all of your body parts and all of your working mechanisms at the moment the sperm and egg come together. That's
Okay.
when you become a human being. At the moment
If
the
that's what
sperm-
you believe,
That's
then,
science.
okay, that's not science. That's not what
I'll
science
pay
says.
for you and your friend. You pick a friend and you go out to dinner on me. You can go anywhere you want to go to dinner. If you can show me your biology textbook or bring your biology teacher out here and they say to you and show you in the textbook that you're not a living human being at the moment of the sperm and egg coming together.
Okay, you're not.
You show me
It
that.
does not say
I'll be here
human
till
being.
2.
I can guarantee you, it does not
You
say
show me
human
that.
being.
Well,
Maybe it says a living organism, but it doesn't mean that's a human being.
So we're going to play verbal gymnastics.
yeah.
What are you? Are you
Of course,
a living organism?
Yes, I'm a living organism.
Well, then don't try to get out of that.
Okay.
The only reason they use that word.
You can debate science with me all day if you want to, but the final point of all of this is that you do not have a right to tell a woman what she is allowed to do with her body.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We'll shift gears a little bit. Do you believe that in a civil society, you and I should not be able to tell each other what to do with our bodies? Do you believe
Yes.
that? Really?
Yes.
So you're if you were setting up a society, you were the queen and you're setting up a society, you would say first rule for our country, you cannot tell somebody else what to do with their body.
Regarding reproductive issues that only a
wait,
woman.
now you're changing. Now you're putting addendums in there. You just said to me, who are you to tell a woman what to do with her body?
Yes.
But you and I believe in the thousands of laws that tell a woman and a man what they can and cannot do with their bodies.
Yeah.
Right? So, and you and I agree that those are good laws.
Yes.
So why not include the fact that you have pulled away from that principle, that says a woman cannot do whatever she wants with her body. There are laws that prohibit certain things that we do with our bodies. And why are those laws in place?
What are you talking about?
Why is there a law that says you're not allowed to drive down the street drunk?
Because it's a harm to living people. Okay, again, we're circling back to the fact of whatever you believe life is, whatever you believe a human is.
That's right. But
So
we're
that's
not
purely
circling,
based on opinion.
No, no, it's not an opinion that
It
it's a
is.
living human being.
It
It's a
is.
medical scientific fact. And all I'm saying to you
I'm
is
saying regardless of what you believe about that, okay,
Right.
regardless of your beliefs on what a human is, what a life is, when that starts, whatever, you
Right.
still have no right to tell a woman what she can do
see,
reproductively.
you're not intellectually consistent. You have to be intellectually consistent. If you believe that there should be limits of what people should do with their bodies, and you and I do, that we would not allow people to do things with their body that may harm someone else. You and I agree.
Like pick up a gun.
But you say it's okay to kill babies. That's
Oh
a
my.
woman telling. Is that not true?
Okay.
You believe a woman should be
let me
able to
explain
kill
a little
another
better.
person.
Let me explain a little better.
Okay.
So if you believe that it's a human or whatever, so that's being
Science
carried.
and medicine
okay,
says it is.
and that's being carried inside a woman's body.
Correct.
It's part of her. Do
no.
you agree?
No. What'd you say you were?
You don't think a
molecular-
fetus is a part of a woman?
Never says that. You show me. You show me in your medical textbook or science textbook where it says the baby in the womb is a part of the woman's body. You show me where it
Do
says
you
that.
agree with that?
It's a unique individual.
It doesn't say that in
Having
your.
had abortions.
Yeah, it's a
See,
unique.
I believed that it was not a unique individual, and so
You didn't think it was a part of you?
It's not medically and scientifically. You're taking the classes in school.
It's
and the
growing in
teach-
your body, and it's not a part of you.
But it's considered a
protective
distinct
womb.
individual human being.
Yeah, that's why the
Inside my
RH factor
body,
is such a big deal.
a 2-year-old
If I have
needs-
a different blood.
a 1-year-old needs me, and an 8-week-old needs me. They still need me.
But they're not a part of her body.
You know,
Oh my!
When do you-
See, that was just like now I can't
Eye-opening?
even like debate.
Is it
with you.
eye-opening?
No, it
So
was like
I'll pay for you to
I
have
literally
dinner.
cannot even
I'll
believe
give you
that
two.
you
I'll
just
give
said
you
that.
two
Go to
things.
dinner.
I
Two-
cannot even believe that you just said that.
You get 2 dinners. You bring me a textbook that says the baby is a part of the woman's body,
It's not an
and I'll pay for
organ.
you to go
It's
to
not
dinner
a-
with
it's
your
not a-
friends.
well, you know, and when we say
So
part,
something that
divine
develops
part,
inside of an organ from
A finger.
a person's own tissue and own blood cells is not a
And
part
a
of the
man's,
body.
by the way.
13
Okay.
DNA, 13 chromosomes here, 13. Why don't men get a choice in that? I don't understand.
Because it's not their body.
Wait. You just said that what's inside the woman was created from her body.
It's distinct.
It was also created from the man's body.
Okay,
so
but
it
it's
is
not.
part
A man isn't carrying the
Well,
fetus.
the location determines who says what happens to the baby.
If it's in their body, then yes.
Okay, where did you get something silly like that? Because you and I don't allow women and men to do whatever they want with their bodies when it comes to harming someone else.
We're
And
talking
so
about the well-being of the person, the individual.
how well
This
being
is
it
definitely
to kill a
not
baby?
even close to the same thing as driving drunk.
How well being is it to kill a baby in the womb?
Okay. That, like I said, I'm not going to debate that with you. I'm like what we're talking
Would
about
you
now.
have a cutoff? I have a question
Sure.
for you. So, along the timeline of the 9 months, would you have a cutoff time for when you decide? When do you decide it's a human being? Since you
That's
have
not
said-
something that you
just-
can put a pin on, or that I personally will put a pin on. But I'm
wait a minute,
saying
society is though. Society is saying this is not human. So when do you say, as a molecular biologist, when do you say?
You shouldn't be.
Because
able to
we have an
abortion.
opinion about that.
Okay.
So when do you say? as a
everyone has an opinion about that. But like I personally, even though I have opinions about other aspects
Yeah,
of this, I'm
right.
not going to put a pinpoint and say when it is a human or whatever, when it is alive or whatever. But I will say that
Why? Why
I
won't you
do
do
believe
that?
in early term abortions.
Okay, but why not? Why?
And what I believe
That's
is
not intellectually consistent.
okay.
because-
What I believe about it being a human or when it is alive or
Yeah.
whatever is not really important because I'm not the one getting the abortion.
So
Really?
what if I go shoot that guy right now? I mean, you know, that doesn't make any sense that you wouldn't care about society and what we are as a society deciding when to
Doing to
kill
other
babies. You know?
It's
because, you know, really, I mean, think about that.
going
to
out
be
and shooting
consistent.
someone is not the same as making a choice for your own body.
Okay, I'm talking about the individual in the body, okay? So when do you decide? Because if you're part of society, right? And you count, you matter. We're a democratic society. Why we're here? Because we want to count. We want to stand up. You want to count. So, as an individual and an important person in this society, when do you say, and don't cop out on this, when do you decide? And should you be able to decide? Should you?
Of course, I should be able to
Okay.
decide because I'm a woman. I'm the one carrying
So
the fetus.
when
So
do you decide?
okay, I'll
When
tell
you
you.
get
I'll
pregnant.
tell you when I decide.
Okay.
But
Tell me
the
your
fact,
opinion.
okay, my opinion. But I will also say that in conjunction with that opinion, that doesn't mean that I get to choose for other people what they do with their bodies.
Okay.
I guess I believe that when the fetus is developed, it is a human. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe in early term
Why
abortions.
not?
Because it's
In
it's
other
the
words, if
choice
you
of a
come to
woman.
the-
It's her reproductive
Well, no, wait,
system.
it's not. No, the
See, we
reproduction's
think that's
already
Kool-Aid.
occurred.
We think that's
Now
Yes.
produced
that's the
another
Kool-Aid
baby.
I
Yes.
drank.
But that
That-
doesn't as I can still believe that and also believe in women having a choice for
Do
themselves.
you know where that idea came from? That idea of us telling other people what to do with their property. Do you know where that came from? It came from the South during the Civil War. The South said the same arguments. They said, "Who are you to tell me what to do with my property?" The Supreme Court said that this
Slaves.
is my
They were
property.
slaves.
And who are you to push your religion on us from the North? They were blaming the North. Don't push your religion on us and tell us what to do with our property. And you and I know that was wrong.
Okay, I agree that what you just said, I guess there's a little bit of a correlation and analogy, but there is such a huge difference between human trafficking and a woman making a choice for herself.
You know, that's an interesting phrase to think, human trafficking, something you and I hate quite a bit here in America. But wow, talk about human trafficking. That's what abortion is. It's trafficking in the killing of innocent boys and girls. In our country, if you find out you have a little girl through an ultrasound, you can actually go in there and say, I want to have an abortion. And they go, oh, why you have an abortion? Well, because I already have a little girl and I don't want another one. I'll wait for a boy, so I'm going to abort the little girl. That's what pro-choice is. And that's what's going on today in America. Couples are going in and deciding if they have a boy. Oh, I already got 2 sons, I don't want a son. And they're aborting it because of its
Do you think
being a
that's
boy
okay?
or girl.
It doesn't matter what I think. It's their
it does.
choice.
It shouldn't be.
Why? Why doesn't it matter to you? It matters to you that we have laws protecting grown-ups. Why doesn't it matter
Because
to you
if it's a process that's happening in a woman's body and she wants to make a decision for herself, it is a process. It's a physiological process.
Okay, so now 8 states have third trimester abortions that are legal. Third, okay? The born alive baby.
On what basis?
On what
No basis at all.
No, it's
It's
there's
just a right.
no.
Let's look
Look it up.